The air crackled with HOA Karen's voice, a shrill chainsaw slicing through the lakeside calm. She stood like a self-appointed dictator, demanding I tear down my office-me sanctuary because it ruined her view. I'd built the small cabin on Lake Serenity's edge, a glass and wood haven where I drafted legal briefs as the district judge. It was my escape from the courtroom's chaos, a place where the water's ripple soothed my soul. The Homeowners Association had approved it unanimously except for HOA Karen, who wasn't even a member. She lived a mile away, in a gaudy mansion that screamed new money. But somehow my modest office offended her delicate aesthetic. For months, she'd harassed me with emails, voicemails, and unhinged rants at town meetings, claiming my shack devalued her property. I ignored her. Big mistake. That evening, as the sun bled orange into the lake, HOA stormed onto my property, her floral dress flapping like a warning flag. She was a mountain of indignation, her face flushed with the kind of rage only entitlement breeds. "This eyesore's coming down," she bellowed, jabbing a manicured finger at my office. "I'll sue you into oblivion, judge or not." Her voice carried the weight of someone who'd never been told no. I stood on the dock, papers in hand, trying to keep my cool. My neighbor, Tom, a quiet retiree who fished daily, watched from his boat, his jaw slack. A jogger, Sarah, froze mid-stride on the path, her earbuds dangling. "Hoa, you don't own this land," I said, voice steady but firm. "The HOA approved my office. You have no case." I'd dealt with her kind in court bullies who mistook volume for authority. But HOA wasn't just loud. She was unhinged. She stepped closer, her bulk casting a shadow over the dock, and sneered. "You think your fancy judge title scares me? I'll make your life hell." What she didn't know, what nobody knew yet, was that I'd been investigating her for weeks. HOA's perfect life was a house of cards. She'd been dodging taxes, bribing contractors, and strong-arming neighbors into compliance with her endless demands. Her latest stunt: filing a fraudulent complaint with the county, claiming my office violated zoning laws. She'd forged documents, thinking I wouldn't notice. I did, and I had the evidence. But that evening, HOA escalated. She grabbed a rock big enough to do damage and hurled it at my office's window. The glass shattered, a spiderweb of cracks glinting in the twilight. Tom gasped from his boat. Sarah pulled out her phone. "Filming." "You're done," HOA shrieked, grabbing another rock. "I'll tear this down myself." I stepped forward, heart pounding but voice calm. "Hoa, stop. You're trespassing and destroying property. Leave now, or I call the police." She laughed a grating, mocking cackle. "Call them. I own this town. You're nothing but a paper-pushing judge." That's when Officer Daniels arrived. I'd called him earlier, suspecting HOA might show up after her latest threatening voicemail. Daniels, a no-nonsense cop with a buzz cut and a permanent frown, stepped out of his cruiser, hand on his holster. "Ma'am, step away," he ordered. HOA whirled on him, undeterred. "You're on my side, officer. This man's breaking the law." She waved a crumpled paper, her forged zoning complaint, as if it were a royal decree. Daniels didn't flinch. He'd seen my evidence that morning: bank records, emails, and witness statements proving HOA's fraud. I'd shared them in my official capacity, knowing she'd crossed a line no amount of bluster could erase. "Ma'am," Daniels said, pulling out his clipboard, "you're under arrest for trespassing." vandalism, and fraud. He held up the clipboard, where he'd scrawled in bold marker, HOA Karen's Lake tirade ends in cuffs. It was petty, but I appreciated the flourish. Hoa's face crumpled, her bravado melting into panic. Arrest? You can't. I'm a taxpayer. I know the mayor. She lunged for the clipboard, but Daniel sidestepped, cuffing her wrists with a practiced snap. Sarah's phone caught every second, her eyes wide with disbelief. Tom, still in his boat, gave me a slow nod, like he'd been waiting for this moment. As Daniels led HOA to the cruiser, she turned, spitting venom. You'll regret this. Judge, I'll ruin you. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The lake was quiet again, save for the hum of cicadas and the lapping water. Sarah approached, lowering her phone. That was intense, she said. You okay? I nodded, picking up a shard of glass from my office's broken window. I will be. The next morning, I sat in my chambers, the weight of the gavel in my hand. Hoa's case wasn't mine to judge conflict of interest, but I'd signed the arrest warrant with a calm satisfaction. Her fraud ran deeper than I'd realized. She'd been skimming HOA funds, forging signatures, and intimidating neighbors for years. The evidence was ironclad, and her arrest sent ripples through the community. People started talking, sharing their own HOA horror stories. She'd bullied Tom into cutting down his favorite oak tree, claiming it blocked her sunset. She'd harassed Sarah for jogging too loudly near her mansion. The town had cowered under her reign of petty tyranny. But no more. Hoa's downfall wasn't just legal, it was karmic. In court, she tried her usual tactics: tears, outrage, claims of victimhood. But the evidence spoke louder. She was charged with multiple counts of fraud, vandalism, and harassment. The judge-me colleague, Judge Harper, sentenced her to 3 years, plus restitution. Her mansion went up for sale to cover the fines. The lake community exhaled, free at last. I rebuilt my office window, stronger this time, with tempered glass. Tom helped, bringing his fishing buddies to pitch in. Sarah stopped by with coffee, saying she'd posted the video online not for clout, but to warn others about Karens like HOA. It went viral, sparking debates about entitlement and accountability. I didn't watch it. I didn't need to. The lake was my proof, calm, unbroken, reflecting the sky. Hoa's arrest wasn't just a win for might, was a lesson. Power isn't in shouting loudest or demanding the most. It's in standing firm, doing right, and letting justice run its course. She thought she could bully the world into submission, but the world pushed back. And I signed the warrant that made it happen.